You can start.
Think about all the activities and events that were advertised to us as students at the beginning of the year. In fact, they had an entire fair dedicated to showing all the organizations available to us. I'm sure most of you guys went to the org fair, and as joining clubs is one of the main reasons that people are excited to go to college. This was a big thing for me, and I wanted to join clubs that I was not only interested in, but they also cared to have me join their club. A club that cares about their members help the club and the students be successful as they have support within them. This is especially important for people who may feel like they're all alone and struggling with mental health issues. Having a community that can encourage these students and point them towards the direction of getting help is very important. The policy I am proposing today is that the Lost and Found organization should host a mental health event every month. The Lost and Found organization is a group that is dedicated to creating awareness for mental health and helping these students feel connected. If this club incorporated this policy, it would create a space where students can feel a sense of community and learn about what is available for mental health care at USD. I'm going to share how USD students are not aware of all the resources at their fingertips, how they can likely worsen their health because of this ignorance, and why the policy is a good idea. First, I would like to discuss the problem at hand. What exactly is the issue to be dealt with? Currently, USD students do not know about all the resources available to them for mental health. Most students that attend university struggle with some level of mental illness. There are too many students who struggle with mental health issues for the university to not have more awareness of available resources. In the article, The Role of Mental Health Stigma in Universities, and Students' Dissatisfaction with Web-Based Stress Management, an intervention study by psychology professors including Nancy L. Heath, wrote about how 24% of students at universities struggle with serious psychological illnesses, while 51% only struggle with a moderate amount. Looking at these statistics, it is clear how much of a problem this is for students. Not only does it explain how many students struggle moderately, or struggle with mental health illness, but it also explains how even more students struggle moderately. This means that anyone around you could be in this percentage and you would have no idea. Considering this, it is imperative that something is done to help these students, even if it is just informing of what is available to them. Since mental health issues are so prevalent at universities right now, schools should work on better informing students of resources available to them. As I was doing my research, I realized I didn't know many of the resources available at USD. Some students with mental health illnesses do not receive help because they do not know what help they can get. A 2004 book titled Programs and Tools to Improve the Quality of Mental Health Services by Barbara L. Barthelmess writes that after they were screened for depression, only 29 to 43% of patients with depression received counseling for it. While this does not specifically relate to college students, it goes to show that even when they do know about it, some people still won't get counseling for their depression. This is a valid rebuttal against my policy, and while it makes sense, I do believe that it is better to make students aware of their options so they can choose how they want to respond to their mental health. If even one person gets help after learning about resources, I believe that it would be worth it. Considering the 29 to 34% of people who are aware of counseling that did not go, think about the number of students who are not aware of counseling so they do not go. Students with mental health issues are the problem of students not knowing the resources that needs to be fixed. Now that we are aware of the problem, what is it causing? Students are likely to worsen their health if they are unaware of resources available to them. The absence of mental health care in a person's life will start to worsen their physical health. A book written in 2006 by David Mechanic explains how important mental health issues are and how they can have major causes of distress, disability, and sometimes even death. If it is known that mental health can cause these types of health issues, it should be made more of a priority to provide for these people. This starts by telling students about what is provided to them, so they can adopt these practices and enhance their health. If this does not happen, their health will continue to decline since there are so many added stresses to it when they come to college. Attacking this issue early will give incoming students better opportunities to take advantage of the resources early in their college life instead of struggling throughout their college life. Now we know how the absence of mental health resources can affect physical health, so let's talk about how a student's mental health care can be unhealthily coped with when they do not go to professional help. If they do not know of other solutions, students may tend to cope with their mental health through the misuse of different substances. A A 2019 textbook by David and Lamont Wilson, a member of the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, wrote about how mental health and the misuse of substances are connected because students are dealing with new stresses in their lives. In college, students likely encounter things they may have not before. Substances become easier to obtain, and peer pressure is also common. Unfortunately, these substances can become a coping mechanism for students with mental health issues. They may feel like they can temporarily escape from their issues and end up getting addicted. But if they knew about the alternative coping methods, such as therapy, this could be prevented. Now, what should USD do to improve this? The USD Lost and Found organization should put on an event every month to advertise all the resources available to students struggling with mental health illnesses. By holding events each month, students will be able to see that they are not the only ones struggling. When I interviewed Melissa Tabke, a professional at USD who works with student resources, on October 9, 2025, about why students avoid asking for help, she shared how many students feel like they're the only ones struggling with what they are dealing with. With these events, students will notice other students that are going through the same thing as them and help them feel more comfortable. Likely through this connection, they may feel motivated to go talk to a specialist and find a way to help their mental health. A common rebuttal against this would be that students are not required to go, so they may not participate in these events. And while this is true, a possible solution to this would be that to have these events in a popular place like the Muck, so more students are likely to walk past and possibly catch interest in it. Now that we understand the community aspect of it, what are possible examples of things they could do at these events? Along with sharing with students the mental health resources at USD, different events could try out different self-care methods. In a 2017 article titled Effectiveness of Mindfulness, Intervention for Mental Health in Schools, a comprehensive meta-analysis by psychologist Dana Carlsley and her colleagues, wrote about how mindfulness for all ages is beneficial to clinical and non-clinical problems. Practicing mindfulness is a great method to learn at these events because it can help students become in tune with their thoughts. Not only that, but it is a skill that they can take with them and practice on their own time. Additionally, it does not cost any money to learn these skills, so that would not be an issue for the event. Now we know why this policy should be implemented. Throughout this speech, I have discussed the issue that students are not aware of the mental health care provided to them at USD, how not getting help can cause serious health issues, and why there needs to be a mental health event every month. Currently, most university students struggle with mental health issues no matter how serious it is. Because of this, if they do not know how to help them, or if they do not know how to get help at college, it will likely get worse. Additionally, mental health can impact the health of the rest of the body, which can possibly result in death. Students tend to resort to their substances to help cope with their mental health issues, which could be prevented if they knew about other alternatives. Finally, I discussed the benefit of an event once a month because of the community they would get from it. Possible events that they can host would be teaching mindfulness, so that it's something that the students can take with them in practice. In closing, my advice to you is to get involved and take the time to check up on your friends.